Hey, for that. Well, Ian, thank you very much for 12 months. I do very much appreciate that. Thank you. We are going to go camera free today because I have a headache, so I'm not even sure I'm going to make it through the entire stream. And I do not want the light in my eyes of the key light, so I'm going to avoid that today. I am not ready at all. It's been a rough weekend here, so we'll see how this goes. I am going to open developers.stream though in Rider because I cannot be struggling with Visual Studio with it, but we will have it open in Visual Studio as well, just to prove it can be built and run in Visual Studio. Hope your weekend was well. Nice relaxing weekend. Okay, so we can shut this down. Dot services down. It shut down there, but we're not waiting on that. Okay. I know it might cost me to do it, but Visual Studio being open with the code at the same time, from what I've seen, they update pretty frequently anyway, so it's not like I'm going to create some problems there. But yeah. So, where we were at last week, we were at the point of needing to get to save the profile, and I think we were close to getting that working, weren't we? So the idea is that we have a profile. If we don't have a profile, we can't go off and create the Twitch, the Connect Twitch thing, because we don't have. We need to figure out. This is going to be messy. We've got a chicken and egg. So the way I'm thinking of doing. That won't help me one bit because I can't. I've got to be more careful today that I don't do the whole sitting here thinking while not talking thing. So the problem is that I need to. I need to. Hey, Duca, how you doing? Welcome in. I need to. I need to do a thing. What do I need to do a thing for? I need to do a thing because I need to. Okay, let's go through this. Let's run it. Let's run the thing and see where we are. I think I got things set up. Once the weather gets nicer, you're looking to get some more streams in, Duca. Get the once spring is off and started. How? I apologize for the bright white flash. Okay. Oh yeah, we had this fun, didn't we, with Ryder? So Ryder opens the anonymous thing. So every time we do this, we end up having to log in, which means I'll have to log in with Twitch every single time. So I can't do that. So we need to fix that in Ryder. So we open it in Ryder, we edit it in Ryder, and we run it in Visual Studio. There we go. What a workflow. Because it's easier than figuring out why Ryder opens the anonymous browser window. Yourself, thank you for the bits. Okay, so we've got the site up and running. Let's get this opened. So still have to log in, but this should be logged in automatically. There we go. So now I'm going to go to profile. So this connect Twitch button, what I was thinking initially was, driving me crazy. We have developer stream. We have no concept of your user in here. So what I was initially thinking was, well, we do have a concept of your user, but we don't, sorry, everything's just going on at once here, right? We do have the concept of the streamer, but we don't have, this identifier is your ID, right? So when we create the account, that's because it kept repopulating every single time. I don't think I can clean things up from within this tool. Is there an easy way to start it up using CLI.NET Run, for example? Oh, it's my. I'm not sure. Right now, I'm like, which problem do I chase first? Do I chase the actual let's get this Twitch thing in finally after 4 streams, or do I chase the let's go and figure out that thing? And I'm kind of leaning towards the let's figure out getting Twitch logged in. Yes, Aspire. This is not the normal project, right? This is the developers.stream project, and this is aimed at being open source. So I figured I'd use a bunch of tools that other .NET devs are going to want to use, and it gives me an excuse to use some of these things and get a handle on them. So that being said, this record doesn't necessarily exist when you first create your account, right? So just because you register um, um, yeah, just because you register your account, like log in with Twitch or log in with GitHub or whatever, doesn't mean this is set up. So this information has to be captured because this is the actual name that's going to show, right? It's not, I'm not going to use the Twitch name. I'm just validating that you actually have a Twitch account linked, and that's going to store that name. But it's not going to use that to show you profile because, again, if I use the same name, um, well, if I use different names across platforms, which I do, right? Because on Twitch, I am TBD Gamer, but on YouTube, I'm streaming as TBD Develops, then there's no consistency there, but they're both linked to the same person. So, um, yeah. So this needs to be in here before this can be done. So whatever ID you have, right? Because again, that ID I believe comes from the auth tables. I think that becomes this ID. That's the ID there, right? So yeah. So this streamers table is what I'm trying to populate this into. So when we go and no, that's liquid sky client ng. When we go into this piece, this update profile, in the profile service, right? This update user profile. The idea here is that this will create that record. So now if I go there and do TBD Gamer, I'm a streamer. Oh, that's where we were, valid anti-forgery token. But the valid anti-forgery token's in that code, so I was trying to figure that out. Yes. Anti-forgery token. Yes. Which this doesn't actually contain. This does not contain the forgery token. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm believing there. I haven't looked at this stuff, so this is stuff I am learning. I do not use Blazor. I do not use any of these tools normally, so every time I come to this, it's going to be new. Model import, return URL, return URL, return. That's that. That's not the actual. Needs a form name. Okay, let's give it a try. User profile details, and because this is, there's no way that works. TBD Gamer. Oh, it reloaded. This is me. No. Valid anti-forgery token. Come on. Edit form. Come on. Nothing quite like not having anything respond. Form name. Just realize what it was, because thinking because you might pick up a lot of noise and seem automatically decrease its gain. Picking up my keyboard presses. That's pretty terrible because my keyboard's a quieter keyboard. Maybe it's because it's so close. What is the URL for on the edit form? It sounds like you're typing on the mic directly, just noticing it. Okay. Well, I'll try and position things in the way that I don't hit anything weird. URL on what form? There's no no invalid submit. Invalid submit. Like it should be going there, right? Hey Phil, I'm hiding. Hope you sleep better. Well, that's why I am going to the doctor's tomorrow to find out how to change that. Return URL on the login form, on the register form. That is ASP route return URL. That is set to that's for the that's because that does a callback, right? That when you register, that does the callback to. I don't believe I need that piece. Um, Does it get in here? This is me, TPD Gamer. I don't believe it's getting there at all, is it? Not that I trust that that breakpoint would work. Um, Morning, daughter. How you doing? Nice. Jimmy's good. Okay. No camera today because sorry, that was a mic bump. No camera today because I cannot deal with the light in my face today. Not a good headache. Um, so why are we getting this? Uh, I hate it when it gets to this sort of stuff in things like Blazor because it could be they've changed how this has worked over time. You could go and find an article from 2 years ago, and it's like, oh, add these components in, add these things, and you don't know. Does it need the method post? I mean, they have it, so it's there. But you get to the point of, am I just stuffing things in that I have no idea why they're going to do something? And I'm not, I'll be honest, I'm not quite in the mood for losing track of that at this point. Um, oh, it's just the nature of the beast, right? Based on what we're doing is, oh, just passing forward sort of some time. I wanted to show you the test oral. Yeah, sorry. Yesterday was not a day I could jump in the Discord. I'm afraid. Um, Customer will tell me if it's not working, and then I fix it. Oh, able to hang out yesterday morning. so excited I couldn't master it there. Later in the day, I'm just tired. No worries. Okay. Use anti-forgery. Okay, so that's 2024. This is 2025, January 2025. Can somebody please give me some advice on how to do this? Um, okay, so the suggestion from some people, some someone posted on learn.microsoft.com and got your code's confusing, and you remove they'd done the same thing I had where they'd added the anti-forgery token into the form, but I'm not sure that is causing me a problem right this second, right? Let's have a look. Uh, let's have a look. Let's go to here. Request verification token. Okay, so we do have a token in there. Action account profile. Is that actually, that's not trying to go to an API, is it? No, it's the same page. Okay, it should be going to the same page, right? It's posting back to the same URL. The way old web forms work. So the goal is we get the user profile saved, and then basically we enable this button. Now we can link this button. We can build this button out with a request, um, and this code, this hard coded URL goes away. But we can build the button for the user, and um, then when they click that, it'll pass the state and it'll validate it. That's what I'm trying to do. Hey Frank, how are you doing? Good morning. So all I've got to do is figure out why anti-forgery token is a problem here. As always, I am searching off screen. I don't believe in keep flicking back and forth between stuff. So um, yeah, that's the actual problem. Oh, okay. I have no idea how to make this any different, but I don't know what it's done. I don't know why it's not working, but there we go. That should be a little louder. We can remove the method post. Try the reload. I'm also talking quieter because my head is absolutely killing me, so I'm not even sure I'm going to make a 2 hour stream today. This is me. No, anti-forgery token. Uh, if this works, I'm going to cry. There's a suggestion that this is in the wrong place. But that's from 2023, so I don't believe that's the truth. That the middleware's configured incorrectly. No worries. Hey, Mr. Weathers, how you doing? Try asking Copilot. We'll resort to that in a minute. Okay, so what we're trying to build here is a site to help support developers who stream. So basically, creating the ability to log in with your profile, link your stream account, so connect Twitch, connect to YouTube, whatever. Set up your profile, and then provide a search that allow people to find you by whatever tags you apply. You can also enter some blurb about yourself to tell people who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. The goal is to first provide this piece where people can log in and find developers who stream, and then create an API to which developers who stream can also hook into this platform. And if people join their stream, they want to look them up in this platform, see if they stream the same things as them or whatever, and like auto shout out, they can do that. Yeah, a little clip talk, nice. So yeah, this is me. If this works, I'm going to be upset. That did not fail, did it? Did that do anything? Streamers. It did. It worked. So, lesson. This anti-forgery method needs to be after authorization. And according to Microsoft, or according to, not Mike, I won't say Microsoft, I can't validate that that is a Microsoft employee. This is where I got it from. Radio Patrick, morning. How you doing? So there we go. I don't remember adding that. So either whatever template I created it with did it, or it was just a copy and paste problem. So maybe Ryder's template did it. I think this was Ryder created. Huh. It's an interesting one. Let's learn. Let's learn. Where is it? Web, Blazor app, Blazor web app. Create that. New window. Yep. Oh, there we go. It was me. Because I didn't put authentication authorization in here by default, did I? That's me. So if I'd have checked the boxes, I wonder what would have happened there. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna blame Ryder. Not that anyone asked me, but I managed to ruin my sleep the middle of January, struggling to get it back. Oof. Yeah. Your sleep schedule on track is when you mention you struggle with sleep, I get some shared experience. Yeah. 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 Sleep apnea is no joke. Actually, let me see. Because I was awake at 3 a.m. I managed 4.5 hours of sleep yesterday. That's my normal Duca. That's my normal sleep. Um, but anyway, I've been able to fall asleep at all for 2 days straight. Getting a bit worried. Yeah. Um, your body will mess with you if you do not get some sleep. You should go see someone. Like I mentioned it on Friday, I once stayed awake for 52 hours. It was my own fault. I was playing games, and I stayed awake for about 52 hours straight. And at that point, the body just shuts down. It's like, no, we're done. Yeah. New excellent, and thank you very much for the follow. As we go into the personal well-being section of the stream. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's different, right? Okay, so we have the profile registering. That's cool. Now, what I need to do is I need to figure out an ordering thing, and I'm looking for some help and guidance here, right? Because the life cycle of this page is going to be a challenge. And I say that because I'm not quite sure how and when to do things. So ultimately, I don't necessarily want to show this until this has been done. Um, but it wouldn't hurt as long as I have the ID. Um, however, the callback is only going to use this state. So what I need to do is I need to create a record that is going to um, log the request, log or store the fact that I've got a pending linking account. Um, when I um, yeah, so when I'm logged in, I want to link a channel. They're not linking their Twitch account unless they choose to. So we need to validate that you are a streamer, right? And capture the channel that you say you are registering. So the idea is that you will let me run it up. So I do not want to troll Twitch. I'm not scraping Twitch for streamers. It's a completely voluntary thing. You sign in, and you can sign in using um, let me start this up. So when you log it, you can register, and you can use Twitch to register with, or you can just create an account. We'll discuss whether we want to create your account around so that we don't capture any more information than we need to. When you go to log in, you can log in with that account or Twitch. So you log in with Twitch. But the idea is that when you go to your profile, you'll be able to link your Twitch accounts, your YouTube account, etc., so that when we go back to the homepage, which I have neglected there, the concept being that we know that which platforms you actually can stream on, right? And we validated that those are. We don't want someone creating an account and then put in links to other people's streams and stuff, right? So you should validate that that's your stream. So the idea was these icons will show based upon the linked accounts that we have. So it's completely voluntary. You say what goes, you control this information, and yeah. Yeah. Because like I'm streaming right now on YouTube and Twitch. So that's kind of the idea. This is a yeah. So all I'm using is this connect Twitch does the code flow for Twitch because it needs to um, kick that process off. It makes the request to get the code, post that back to me. I then turn around and auth that because I've got an app authorized, right? Which then gives me their token, which then I can pull their name from and then store the Twitch stream name in there, and that will give me enough, and then just discard the account, right? Um, the rest of the details. I don't want to keep the auth tokens around. I don't want to keep any of that. I'm not trying to keep an always authenticated token at this point. That's not really on the cards. The idea with this, by the way, is this is an open source product or project. The idea will be that once I've got it into a good state, I will fork the code and deploy a workable version under that domain. Yeah. Yeah. So lessons I need to learn about ID and author along the way. Completely open to that stuff because this is again stuff that I am gradually becoming more familiar with, but it's not stuff that I've done a lot of. With Liquid Sky, we authenticate with Auth0, and then authorization is done with internal permissions based on tenants within Liquid Sky. So I've done a little bit of this. But with this, linking the other accounts and stuff is all new as a concept. So what I need to do now is imagine we've got this profile saved. We now need to connect this Twitch account. When we click this, we need to create a record in a my brain is not firing on all cylinders here. So the concept would be that we create a record in channels and we populate this state. That's going to be used to pass to Twitch, which will be used when it gets passed back to validate this was a request that we actually initiated. So that'll be used to look up this record. I'm just not quite sure how to create this record to generate that state before executing. That's not a pattern I normally use. Because essentially I want to call back. Ugh, this feels messy. So when I click this, it's not just about getting this auth URL. And I don't want to generate records in a database straight away. Just shut that down. Get changes. I did not change all that. Oh yeah, modified these, didn't I? Oh. Sorry, right, it's just a little easier for me to do that. Okay. Register channel intent, that's the flow. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to say, okay, well, um, we're logged in. I want to say link the channel. So we create this channel intent, save that to the database, get a state value back in that, then make the request to Twitch. This is where my brain is not dealing with the rider thing, is it? Because on my server side or my client side here? I know I can make a request and then wait that. When I get that back, then redirect using the router to Twitch with the URL that I've generated. Because ultimately, I want this URL, brain, this URL to be generated based upon my client, so that I control this. I don't want this to be in the page, right? I hope that makes sense. My brain is not firing on all cylinders today, so hoping that I'm not just wittering along. Let's get this committed. Include identifier on stream. I don't think I need to do that though. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. The fact that I can't look at the database between restarts is. I don't need to do what I'm thinking I need to do here. Identify. Okay, identifier is that. Okay. That wasn't initially captured. Platforms, labels. Okay. Labels. Okay. Okay, so I do need that there. And then channel gets URL. No, remove URL. Yes. This is Postgre that I'm using for the database in this. Yeah. Remove your channel. Yeah, so everything I'm doing is trying to make this a little bit more open source friendly. So no SQL Server challenges, Postgre, you can run it locally. Yeah, so the hope is that you just be able to check this out and run it because of Aspire, etc. So Aspire, Blazor, all choices based upon wanting to get a bit more experience with these tools and also help people who are using .NET by keeping everything in the .NET world. Identifier. Sally, hello, how you doing? On the stream. Okay, so commit that. That's the migration stuff still. Another part of that. Okay. Let's change that. Stream profile service. Let's just do this. You can do that. Okay. Anti-forgery token. Okay. We got that one. Channel model. I should have done these before. Oh well. This is all streamer profile. So, yeah. So the name and the description. So the name is what's going to be used on those cards in the front page, and the blurb is what's going to be shown to help introduce yourself. Um, Again, we're going to have to worry later on. We're going to have to put in some sort of administration components here, some um, uh, ability to remove or deactivate accounts if someone decides to put a blurb that is inappropriate. We have to put some guidelines and some rules together. Um, okay, so push that up. Everything out right now is on it against initial build. I'm not branching. I'm not messing around with different branches. I'm trying to get the application into a place where I'm comfortable with how it works and the problems and the things that need to be solved before I open it up to everybody else to say, hey, if you want to contribute, you can do. I know some people are interested in contributing, but again, I don't want to, being that I have limited time, I'm not trying to say that it shouldn't evolve, but in the same, I kind of want to know what I'm trying to. If I'm getting PRs, I don't want to ignore PRs because I don't understand how they fit in the application. So I have to figure out that path. Okay, so how would I do this? How would I? I need to basically, this button needs to be built by code. Actually, it needs to be built when I click it, right? So I need to kick off a process here. So this is really, let's call this register channel. And when I click this, I need register channel to create a channel um, in having no database to refer to drives me crazy, but I don't want to leave it. I know that I can start it and persist it, but then it'll just sit out there and I can't shut it down easily. I've got to remember to go into Docker desktop and shut it down. Um, yes, that's the sort of thing that winds me up. Um, so create channel when they click it. I don't want to do this all the time. I don't want to create a bunch of channels every time you go into user profile and say, oh, well, you clearly want to create link a channel, right? Because this would be there for Twitch, for YouTube, for LinkedIn, for whatever else you stream to. I want to provide the ability to link to all those platforms eventually. We'll just start with Twitch because it's the one I know. And hopefully other people could come along and add in the flow because the flow is already in place for registering those other things, or the structure is already in place. Create a channel that will give us a state, generate a state string, build a link, yeah, something like that. So it will build this from the server and then invoke Copilot does this for me now, I'm going to be upset. I've already handled the Twitch auth callback. So the API component over here has an endpoint link account. So that callback in register, no, not register, close that down, close it down, close it down, profile. This callback here, you see, goes to link account. So link account over here already does the auth thing. It gets the code. The only thing it's not doing right now is calling back again to Twitch with that code and validating that. So the idea would be we get the code in here, we get the state in here, right? That state would give us our record we're matching up to. And once we validate the code, we can look up that channel by state and activate that and remove the string and clean it up, and then we've got a linked account, right? So it's possible to do that, and it's okay. However, I've got to get this workflow right in my head first, right? So how do I do this in Blazor? I know how to do it in Angular. I know how to do it. John Horn, how you doing? So I need to, that profile service, I need to give, hey Zons, how you doing? If I do profile service, hypothetical, if you could go full time on Liquid Sky, would you? Absolutely. I would stream 8 hours a day doing Liquid Sky. I would still stream it. Yeah. What about the safety of a job? Well, if I could go full time on Liquid Sky, then I'm obviously doing that with some level of comfort and safety in it. I think if I could go 40-hour weeks on Liquid Sky and that would be my only focus, then I would be able to get a lot more in there. Get a lot of the features in there that I want to get in there and focus on some of the bigger pieces. Yeah, I would do. But that is not reality at this point. How do I do this? How do I do this? I don't know how to do this and it's driving me crazy. Let's just do it the dumb way. Let's just do it the dumb way. At least show me where the problems lie. I'm trying to, when I click this, I want to create a record in the database, return a URL, and invoke that URL. I just think I'm going to get bitten by my understanding of lifecycle in Blazor. Is this profile? Is this profile? I suppose it is. Heck yeah, doing it the dumb way. Sometimes you just got to do something that you do, you know the flow, build it that way, fail, and understand where your gaps are rather than overthinking it. So what I'm going to do is I have, yeah. Okay, let's go to master failure. um, adaptive server. Okay, so we have update profile, public async task string. Do I want to make this? Do I want to make this Twitch? No, register channel. Let's do this. Oh, you know what? Register Twitch channel. GUID user identifier. Let's do it really dumb. What I want to do here is I want to, I think I already have some of this set up. Application commands, register channel intent, right? So this is the register channel intent. Yeah. Apex, good morning. How you doing? Let's create the handler for this. I command result of, does it need a result? No. Oh, I do not have result in here yet. Let's not worry about result types. Handler, I command handler. So now this is going to take an iRepository. I am not doing a unit test around this. I do not want to impose that as a requirement right now. I will do some unit testing afterwards, just as a backup of things, but I don't want to impose it on people because people will be turned off from doing some of this code. Do well, how you doing? I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Camera is off because I can't stand the light in my face today. For reference. Which does mean that I have to make sure that I'm not going quiet, which I tend to do and I have been made aware of, where I pause mentally on stream. So I'm trying to be good about that. Okay, so this is a developer stream domain channel repository. And we've got no validation. So you need a doggo cam. The doggo cam would look at two little curled up balls right this second on a bed underneath a desk. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So yeah, we can talk about unit tests later, but I don't think unit tests are something I want to put in immediately for fear of turning people away. Okay, so in here, there's no validation necessary here. We're just going to record this, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. I've realized how much I need the flow. So this is going to be, this can't be this is not going to work. I have a unique identifier of the streamer. So the only way I do this is by injecting two repositories, which I'm not a big fan of, but it will work. Streamer repository. See, it's just a wrapper around a wrapper to make it less obvious. Anyway, what I was thinking of there is maybe I just need to give a lookup of some form, and that's all I care about, a streamer lookup, and that internally has the repository, so I can avoid having multiple repositories. But um, yeah, I wish you get better quickly. Have a nice day, Frank. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out for a bit. Appreciate it. Take care and have a great day. Okay. So let's see if we can do. So what in here we need to do two things. We need to get the streamer ID, right? Again from our profile. So we have to have the profile in place before we can do this part, which is a problem, right? So we're gonna. I suppose I'm kind of lying in that I do need to kind of return a result in that if your profile isn't configured, you can't call this register channel intent. You need to have established your profile first. We can worry about that validation rule later. So we get the streamer ID, and then we're going to register a new channel using what's passed in here. I think what we'll do is we'll leave the ownership of this state string to the caller, and that way we can pass it, we can leave it empty, whatever we need to do. But either way, this channel will be created. Actually, let's just do var streamer equals streamer repository dot mono first to default async new all streamers spec streamer by identifier spec specification streamer single result specification of streamer. Let's make this sealed. This is query dot where s goes to s dot identifier equals identifier. That's our spec. So we do new streamer by identifier spec, and that's command dot user identifier cancellation token. We have to have a GUID. Let's make it that way. Let's make it forced. Let's force it at the command level, and then it's easier, and we don't have to have any logic around passing that in here. If we can't produce a GUID for this part, then this part won't work anyway. So a streamer is null. We need to await that as well. And we need to do argument null exception dot throw if null. Throw if null. Keyroll, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. If you are new to the stream and you have any questions about the stream, you're more than welcome to ask. Technologies I'm using, the choices I'm making, are all good to talk about. So let's now save that new channel. So our platform. I have to do way more here than I wanted to do. We have to inject 3 repositories to achieve this. This is not good. At this point, this is going to be really confusing what the repository is. Var platform equals await. It knows what I want to do. Class Platform by identifier spec. Do you know this part? Oh, this is not platform by identifier. This is platform by name spec. String name query dot where p goes to p dot name equals name. So what it complains about there is because uh, um, this is defined virtually underneath. It wants you to stop any inheritance, so you can't possibly change this again. It's just that's why it wants it sealed, which I'm fine with because we shouldn't. I don't want to be extending specifications like that. So command.platform.identifier is the name, right? So this platform identifier, Twitch, YouTube, Kick, will align to the models I've injected into migration service. Where are you? Migration service here. Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, right? So it will find those IDs and link those platforms. I don't like doing this. This is not something I'm enjoying right this second. Writing 3 repositories in the same thing, but I'm not trying to overthink this at this point. Okay, so here we have a channel record. Now we have a name field, but the name field is going to be empty because we don't have that information yet. We've not linked the Twitch account, and streamer ID equals streamer.id. Platform ID is platform ID. Actually, we need to do the same thing again. Platform. Either of those are null. We don't want anything to proceed. And our state is our command.state. And let's set is verified to false explicitly to make sure we're capturing that. And then return unit.value. Okay. So the goal is when we go into, let's close Aspire server. We're going to go in here and we're going to register a Twitch channel. We're going to await sender.send new register channel intent command platform identifier.twitch user identifier, and this state we're going to figure that out in a second. So string state equals some random string. That's going to go there. And then we're going to return state. Then in this side of things, what I want to do is basically want to do register Twitch channel, then get that string back, build this URL up. However, I do that. And then click it. Or when you click connect Twitch. I'm just not sure how to do that correctly. I mean, basically I make this a button, right? That's how I do it. Um, button, yeah, I'll do on click. Twitch account. So this is going to be public. So we're going to need to inject. Yep, that looks good. Whether it is good or not is a whole different thing, but we'll get there. Async task. I do a wait there. Nope. I assume I need async there and a wait there to make that work. Whether that works or not, I don't know. But either way, we need to first streamer profile. We need to get that method in there. I'm not sure I want to put this in streamer profile, but we'll again, we'll worry about the organization later. Because when you get into this pattern of like creating these services that have like, oh, well, it's kind of related, so let's put all this in here. I end up with these big classes that have a lot of functionality, and that doesn't sit right with me. Whether it's good or not, yeah. But you know, something called the profile service is just it's ripe for just adding extra functionality in that. Well, it's kind of the profile, so we'll just put it in the profile service. That's why I like working with the commands more, because I can be more clear on the intent. So yeah, now the API will make this a little smoother, I suppose. Well, would it? I don't know. But profile service, register Twitch account. Why did you let me do that? Oh, because you don't have. We got to do this first. That ironic state dot user dot. I see an extension method in my future. Did we move it up to the interface? Register Twitch channel. Just gonna call it register Twitch channel, not register Twitch account. So with that done, I string let's do this. We do this. I think we do this in Liquid Sky. Open project solution. No, not in Visual Studio. I am not opening Liquid Sky in Visual Studio. That is just asking for pain. Token. There you go. That. here. Where does this live? Infrastructure. Share kernel. Let's put that in share kernel. Infrastructure. I don't like helpers. I know how to do this. An identifier. What is this? This is a so that's going to contain something like that. However, it's a traditional constructor because we're going to have to generate this. Private const. Yeah, except we want just them. And then private string content equals that. And I like it when it does this. It's going to tell me how to make it a primary constructor anyway. Watch. There you go. Remove that, and then public static implicit operator string. There you go. There you go. It's probably a data structure that does exactly what I just tried, but it's fine. String profile service. So in here we do new random string 32. That's the default anyway, so that's why. And then we can pass that in as a string there and return that as a string there, and that works. Now I go back here. So that will give us our string identifier, string Trojan Manga is looking at the state curriculum and textbooks. The next best step to become a stronger software engineer if I learn to build apps and leak code already. I mean, leak code doesn't teach you how to be a developer. It means it helps you solve, like, work on your problem solving skills if you're given algorithms and things to understand and to relay. I mean, to become a stronger software engineer, build real applications, continue to build applications, continue to learn what you enjoy doing, and just keep going. I'm a little confused by I learned to build apps and leak code already. You've built an application doesn't make you, you know, like I've built applications for a long time, but it's still like this. I'm still struggling right? I'm still learning something new. I'm still doing it a different way than I would normally do it, or doing things I wouldn't normally do. So practicing and continuing to build is how you become stronger. Um, Keeping your mind open. Don't do the same thing you did last time. Don't copy and paste your code. Write the code again. Make sure you are um, stretching those skills and not just doing the same things over and over again. Um, yeah. Also, I'd recommend not hopping around if that's a thing. Um, some people kind of go from language to language to language and picking up little bits here and there, and I think that gives you a well-rounded understanding of what all these things do. But I don't think you become strong enough in any particular language or framework. Um, Become really good at one. Um, 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 User state equals await that, and then ultimately, see if we let's see if we can at least get this working, and then we can worry about the hard coded nature of what comes next. So that's that. That's that. Um, state state. Um, what are you going to do? You don't like that because that's not a variable. That's okay. Um, Navigation dot navigate to that. Okay. I don't like the way that's working, but we'll see if it works so far. I mean, is there somewhere you don't feel you're comfortable, Treasure Mango? Is there somewhere you feel you are lacking? I mean, I wouldn't recommend starting on older.net at this point. And I wouldn't start, it doesn't matter what version of .NET you start on. It's the concepts that matter more. But you also need to start to learn how to translate that when you're in a framework. But I'm not sure that is part of become. I mean, that's just part of becoming an engineer, like a developer, right? It's like no worries. So we log in, we go here. Now we have a profile, so we're not loading the profile. Does this work? It does not work. Did that error? Did it do anything? Did it do anything? What's your end goal, Trojan Mango? Basically, what do you? Where do you think you are? What do you think you don't know? Um, would be my question. Stream profile service. Does it hit there? Does not do that at all. I just keep wanting to go back to Liquid Sky, don't I? Is that doing anything? One click, register Twitch account. No. Like argument cannot convert. Yes, you got to do it that way, right? On click. Well, Some people think that doing leak code and doing things like that is practicing. And yes, that is practicing in some form, but that doesn't make you a better engineer because all you're trying to focus on is getting the code done in the quickest possible way or in the most succinct and clever way, right? You're not trying to become like what industry you're trying to go into, what path are you trying to go down. It will change where you should focus your energies and stuff, right? Because if you're trying to go into building games versus building applications, there's different things you can practice, different techniques and different uh, tools you should learn. Um, I will say, don't if you're starting with I've done these already, what do I do next? That's the wrong attitude. You've not done. You've done a little bit of it, but you've got bored of that piece. But there's a lot more. It's like people who say, "I've learned HTML and JavaScript. What do I do next?" You didn't learn HTML and JavaScript. Learning the structure, learning the tags does not make you an expert. You've got to go and apply it. You've got to build stuff with it. You've got to do stuff that is not um, uh, just is because it's not just language. It's not just a set of tools. You've got to understand how to apply the tools, and that's that's why practicing comes in. But you've got to build things that mean something, and you've got to keep focusing on improving that skill set. But again, also a lot of people can throw code on the screen and make something work. Right? Getting code on the screen does not make you a good developer. Getting something working doesn't make you a good developer. It just means you're capable of getting something working, and that's where the craftsmanship comes in, right? The craft person, however we say that now, but um, yeah, writing good code, understanding what you're designing, what you're building, and being able to change it and fix it and tweak it in the future. That is the path you should be heading down. A week or two ago, I asked Radio Patrick about what concepts from his school curriculum would he recommend to learn. Uh, gotcha. Eh, I'd still argue that wouldn't make you a good developer. That just means you're a nerd who can go off and learn how to do it in assembly. Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes like this. You've got to do something to understand what's not working. Sometimes, and writing code and building software and failing at building software is part of the journey. Having someone look at your code and go, "Really? You did it that way?" Um, that's it's gonna hurt. It's not nice to have your code mocked or criticized, but as long as the person can walk you through the other side and say, "Hey, here's how I did it," and then you can compare those two ideas. Yeah, yeah, it was a good chat. Mojo let me ramble on for like 2 hours, and I felt very sage like. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to. Um, how do I do this? I'm clearly doing something wrong. Yeah, that's. I'm not being critical when I say want to say, like, you can't say you learn stuff, right? You can't say, oh, I'm done. I've learned this. What do I do next? Um, Data structures and algorithms. But again, when do you apply them? That's when you learn those. That's when you really get into those. Having the capability to go off and understand them is useful, but do you go off and learn them all? No, but you know, will it give you the tools to build a better piece of software? Possibly, um, but you won't know until you try and apply it anyway. So I don't know. I'd debate the need to have them all stuck in your head. It's like patterns and stuff. Um, do I try and write to a pattern? I mean, I'm obviously using mediator here, but that was a natural evolution of my development. That wasn't actually trying to apply mediator. It just kind of happened because it fits my way of thinking. Like I said, it hurts me that I'm writing that class with 3 repositories in it because I don't like the idea of having 3 repos in there. However, I can refresh myself on what that's doing later and let's see. So I don't know. Software is software is easy to do, hard to do right, or hard to do well, not right. There is no right. If it works, it's right. And I reserve the right to qualify that statement a lot more. Well, applying them too literally just is a sign of the problem there, right? Like, what does it matter? Well, amazing might be a little too complimentary. Yeah, it's yeah. Um, in case I'm making the conversations, good to know the broad concepts so that you have the options when problem solving. Um, yeah, you also will learn a lot of them as you go, and knowing when to apply the concepts is an art form unto itself, right? And when to use things effectively. Um, yeah, it's a challenge. I keep going back. My favorite word, the word you will hear me say more than anything else, is effective, right? Everything's good, but is it effective? Like, if I write the smartest algorithm in the world, um, does it is it effective? Is it riddled with bugs? Is it hard to debug? Does it slow everyone down? Then it wasn't the best choice for that thing, was it? So, um, That's an art form unto itself. Okay, so I clearly don't understand how debugging in this thing works. Or I'm not firing when I click that thing because I don't understand the life cycle. Um, well, oftentimes that choice mojo, it seems to be the practice in our code base not to use built-in framework. Our senior dev implemented a custom log ID in every method, but our logger has tracing. That's normally a side effect of just fear of change, of changing things, and if you control everything, um, you understand all the things. So yeah, no, I would be lying if I said that wasn't the first time I'd experienced that specific thing. Reflecting on past code bases I've worked in, but yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it is what it is. Our symbols have been loaded. Okay, so we got loaded symbols, but can I breakpoint this? I can breakpoint that. Login. It's driving me crazy. It logs me out every time. Profile link. Really, there's too many bugs for that statement to be true at this thing. Again, it's not effective. It's the way because it's the way the developer thinks, but it's not effective. Why you no click? Why is this all client side and I'm making a mistake here? Is this what my problem is? Am I misunderstanding where this lies? Twitch account. Why? I don't know. Blazor. Using the right syntax. Am I not allowed to use async here? That's funny. We go to the AI, right? The AI says, right? The AI says that is possible. In the dot razor syntax, you cannot use async. Task report call. Okay. Let's see if this does. So you don't invoke the method, you give it as a callback into that. Okay. Don't mind me. Feeling somewhere. Okay, so you can invoke it, but it doesn't have any method, so that should work, but it doesn't work. So I'm clearly failing to be good at this. Take care, Mojo. Have a good day. Wrong. Yup. What am I missing? I'm missing something. I just don't know what I'm missing. So what am I doing? Not quite sure how to make sure handle is registered at the right life cycle point. What does that even mean? Hey, Neo Wizard, how you doing? I am building a platform for which, if you are a developer who streams, you can sign up to and become searchable on this site. Control the tags that you're associated with, whether you stream on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, LinkedIn, whatever, is the goal. Aid in discoverability. You can set the message for yourself and then also provide some APIs to help other people in the community know if you are if you join their stream, um, that you are a streamer too, and they can help shout you out and promote you, and if they choose to, um, yeah, that is the goal. So building it as an open source project. Right now, just trying to get the groundwork in place before I start accepting any PRs. Yeah, is building it with Blazor and Aspire as it is a .NET project. And basically just helping in discoverability and helping, other people in the community. I have been programming for professionally 25 years. I don't know how long. And I picked up my first. I picked up the coding book for the Vic 20 when I was 5 and tinkered with that. So it's always been a bug that caught me from early age. But yeah. What am I doing wrong here? How do I debug this? These are more questions. Welcome in, Deflux. How you doing? How do I debug this? 25 years, you must have stories. 9 years professional, I already feel like the old man with war stories. I got my fair share. It's fine. But I love doing this, right? I love learning new things. So Blazor and Aspire and stuff, this is not my wheelhouse. This is not somewhere I'm generally comfortable in. I've been a .NET developer for most of that 25 years. So .NET is definitely uh, uh, comfortable. However, uh, working in tools like Blazor is something I'm learning along with here. So, and that's deliberate, right? I'm using a sets of technology that, as any .NET developer, um, is likely to come along, um, and we will learn together. And that's the key, right? Keep it fresh, keep learning, keep growing. Um, in my day to day these days, I'm not a developer, an active developer. My role as an architect is one more of laying down what people can be working with and trying to set some of those standards for people. Yeah. How many years that TBD was working that people say he was professional. Some would say he was professional at some point. Professional at some point. Nice vlogs. Nice. uh I haven't done like Core in my past 4 to 5 years, but mostly back end, so I haven't done Blazor stuff. Yeah, I'm way more comfortable with back end concepts over the front end. It definitely gives me less uh, uh, I'm less comfortable on the front end side of things, especially in this world of am I server, am I client, am I what, where should I be? I've got to get my head around those concepts and get some of that sorted out so I don't keep failing. Um, right now, what I'm failing at is how to click a button. So register Twitch account should go here. This is an async method. It should go get my state, register my Twitch channel, which should create a record in the database, and then navigate to this URL, which would then ultimately link my Twitch account is the goal. And then it would call back into the profile eventually. It would navigate a callback. So, however, why are you not working? Thank you for the follow, Neil Wizard. Welcome in. Developers.stream is one of two projects I work on stream. The other project being a bit of a larger project to that back end component. So I'm also building this platform for product management, project management, and planning. Think Jira. I don't like Jira, so I'm building my own. I've been working on this for the past 15 months, and this is the other stream project that I do Tuesdays to Thursdays normally. This is a this is an Angular front end with the .NET backend, and lots of little something like this. So it's a bit of a distributed system thing. A bit, he says. So that's the other project we're working on stream. This is not open source. Liquid Sky is not open source, whereas developers.stream is. But I share as much as I can while streaming, and I'm always open to discussions and debates on the right way to do things. Why can I not figure out why a button won't work? It's just not hitting any breakpoints at all. Server profile, yeah, that's all in place. Yeah, that's fine. That's nice of you to tell me that's implicit. I'm not sure why or how to debug this. That's why I'm stuck right this second. How do I debug a thing that won't actually? Ultimately, what we'll do is when we come into this page, we'll load your user profile up. Um, um, and then we'll decide whether you have the Twitch accounts and stuff. So we'll have to load the user profile at some point. But that's what's going to determine this. A live project or in development. So it's very much in development overall. Um, there is a live version that's available to any subscribers to the stream right now, this second. Um, and it is a project I want to take to production. Um, yeah. But I actively develop it. There's a lot of stuff in there. The current form, I might as well show it because I'm not making any progress in this. Um, the current form allows me to track what I'm referring to as planning items. These are not stories in Jira. Currently working on planning item dependencies. The concept is one of you track planning items. Planning items have requirements. From requirements, developers can build out the tasks to meet this requirement, and this allows the product team to track what they care about, while the developers can focus on what they care about over in the task system. So this is the actual current with dog fooding the application development. So this is actually the current in development stuff. The current version looks a little nicer than this. It's got a lot more features. This is from before Christmas. This version, but yeah, this is the other thing we're working on stream. Uses Kafka and service, Kafka, Mass Transit, GraphQL. We got some MongoDB, so we got some NoSQL, we got some SQL databases distributed all over the place. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces in this. But again, I stream this so that I can share some of that development with people, and I'm always open to questions and feedback. Um, the main distinction from Jira is one of complete separation of what the product team is tracking to what the developers are working on, and give, at the end of the day, provide visibility in the way that all parties think about it without actually having the story that tracks everything. And then you've got to kind of interpret what is in the story. The idea here is the planning items have requirements. Those requirements are probably the closest to a story, but they are what is the product manager expecting from this thing. So a planning item could be considered a epic or a story in some respects. But the concept is one of the product team is going to lay out what they expect to happen. These can then be validated. These could span many sprints. These are not sprint oriented, and the tasks and the work that needs to be done can be focused on just, it could be the technical requirements. It could be more in the current version. I can't show it right this second. It also shows you, actually, here, it gives you a better idea. It also links back to why we're doing this thing. So it gives the developers a link back to the actual product reason for this thing in general. Um, Bigger plans, there's a lot more to come. A lot more interactivity, a lot more notifications and reporting and stuff to feed out. But the goal is to allow developers to get on with the development for the most part in the way they think about the development, break it down as they think about it, release it as they need to, rather than worrying about does it all fit in this story or whatever. But then everyone can see the stuff from their perspective. So yeah, that is the concept. Whether it becomes a product or not, I will do my best to make it one. Um, However, at the end of the day, it is what matters most is that I've learned a lot and grown a lot through doing it. And if it ever turns out that it's not going to be a real product, I will open source the entire thing. Okay. So, and if you have any more, if you want to ask more questions on that, you have more, you're intrigued, there is a Discord linked in the cards below that everyone's more than welcome to join if you want to talk more offline about stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, that will. This is not a great end to a developers.stream. I would like to have made this work because we've been stuck on this for a few days. I'm going to do a bit more reading up, see if I can understand what the heck this is doing, why I do not have this event firing. Am I missing a configuration? Is there something I'm missing about how Blazor's configured or how I've got the form set up? Apex, thank you very much. I too must finish up here. So I'm going to try and do a bit more reading on this after stream and see if I can come back by Friday with a better answer on this. So, unfortunately, this is the end of the stream today. Over the next couple of weeks, there is a couple of missed days. I'm not sure. I believe so. Deflux. That again, I've got to get my head around that, but I'll check that. So tomorrow I will not be streaming. I have a doctor's appointment first thing, so I cannot be around. Over the next couple of weeks, I may have missed days, for certain, due to health always comes first, right? So, but I will make sure I post in the Discord. Yeah. So, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to raid Fullbots. He's the only streamer I know that I want to raid into today. So we'll go raid Fullbots. Fullbots recently released an awesome game called Block Shop, which I highly recommend checking out if you like puzzle games. It is very addictive. It is very it's very tricky. It is Monday. Online here, as well as being one my most fantastic mod, is also a great streamer and also does .NET development. So if you are interested in .NET, Blazor, way better at Blazor than I am, you are more than set up by going to one line stream. So unfortunately, I've got to go. So thank you very much for joining me. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for the follows. I do appreciate it. And I will be back on Wednesday with some with Liquid Sky. And I will see you later. Take care, all.